Carrie Gracie reporting from Beijing. Well, that rare meeting between the two presidents of America and China took place after the APEC summit. That's a meeting of Asia-Pacific leaders. The hosts put on quite a show. There was one moment, though, which certainly wasn't planned, and it rather captured the attention of the Chinese public. We can show you that now. As world leaders were gathering to watch a fireworks display, you see on the front of the screen there, the Russian President Vladimir Putin, on a chilly night, doing the gentlemanly thing. He slipped a shawl over the shoulders of Peng Liyuan, the wife of China's President Xi Jinping. A smiling Peng accepted that offer, and yet, a few seconds later, the shawl came off again, handed it to a waiting aide. Now, it seemed pretty innocent at the time, but it was soon being shared heavily on Weibo. That's China's answer to Twitter. Not for long, though. There's little sign of the incident at all today. It seems it's been censored by Chinese authorities. All seemed in fairly good spirit there. Well, from Manchester, we can speak to William Hanson now, who's an international etiquette consultant and social commentator. William, thanks for joining us. I mean, an act of gentlemanly generosity is presumably something you would always applaud. Has he got something very wrong here, Vladimir Putin?
This gesture came from a good place. It wasn't deliberately meant to offend. Sadly, the problem was that President Putin wasn't really thinking cross-culturally, which is what I am training clients to do all over the world. And in China, they place a great emphasis on mianzi, which is face. And to offer this shawl, because this person was cold, the president's wife, can be seen as a loss of face, or it would have been in China, which is why there is this slight drama in China with the footage and why it has disappeared, because in it, the people that symbolise China, that represent China, the leaders are looking weak, or perceived to be looking weak. Now, we know in the West it's got nothing to do with weakness. It was just a chivalrous and a gallant act, but that's how it would have been perceived over in China.
He's rather prone to these chivalrous, gallant acts. I think he did something similar for Angela Merkel at one point. So maybe he's playing the game a little bit. But can I ask you this? In terms of, you know, do you have to fit in with your host's cultural norms, or should your host be fitting in with you?
Really, you as a guest should be fitting in with the rules of that country and the expectations. However, the host should also be looking to you as a guest, knowing that you are coming from a different culture and that you may not be, however well-travelled you are, you may not be familiar with every nuance. Just like with all of good manners and etiquette, it's about compromise and respecting one another. And as long as you don't deliberately go to offend, then that's fine. What is unforgivable is a sort of ignorance about the situation. If you're going, whether it's on holiday or to business to another country, you must research the protocols, the very basic rules of that country.
I wonder how much research was done by President Obama then. We've got some pictures here of him, a very American attitude, but he's chewing gum. We're going to see that in a second. He's come in, this is at the APEC summit. He's marching up the red carpet, chewing gum there. We see him a bit later, rather more obviously having a good old chew. I think I know what your response to this is going to be.
Yes, that's not very good. We've seen a few little slip-ups from Obama all over the place in the last few weeks. We had him coming off one of the helicopters in America. There were two members of the military at the foot of the steps from the helicopter, and he had his takeaway coffee in his hand, and he did the salute holding a cup of coffee, which is not particularly good from a protocol point of view. And however casual he wants to appear, there are certain things, chewing gum, saluting with a latte, that are just absolutely bad form and always will be.
Well, he's been told now by William Hanson. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, William.